Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. This was what scattered everything before. Women screamed at the Jewel's family over midnight prayers. They said, after the prayers, okay, the next morning, the whole palace environment was already tense. The Jewel's family had finished their all-night prayer in the villa, her new mansion inside the, palace, okay, estate. They didn't even know anything was brewing outside. They just prayed, sang, worship songs, and, fell asleep. Around 4 a.m., people started going. But by 7:30 a.m., before the sun fully settled on the palace roof, a group of women, mostly elderly, traditional women, and some wives living within the palace quarters came out angrily. They moved straight towards the Jewel's villa. They didn't even wait to be calm. They didn't sit down. They didn't request to see anybody. Respectfully, they stormed the palace like people who had been holding something in their chairs for long. Immediately, they reached the front of the villa. They started, shouting. One of them, the loudest among them, pointed at the building and said, "This is exactly what where they had that prayer yesterday, and this was what scattered everything before. These prayers, this midnight prayer, this is what caused all the wahala the last time." Another one added, "We are traditional people here, very traditional. If you want to pray in your own house and pray quietly. Why must you do it in our palace? Why at night? It disturbs us, it disrupts the atmosphere, it blocks our path. We can't fly, we can't move. It disturbs us at night. It stops everything that we do. And we have told you this time and time again. Now, it's important to know that some of the women that actually came out are women who have not confronted the Jewel before. These are the background ones. The ones who operate on the background. They said one of the Jewel's aunts came out slowly. So they said one of the Jewel's aunts came out confused. She thought maybe someone was sick or something serious had happened. She didn't even imagine that, the complaint would be about the prayer they did last night inside a closed building. Before she could say anything, the women continued shouting over her, and that they said that prayer they did yesterday night is like it's something that is not wanted, that they don't want it in the palace, that these people have no right to bring their own religion to the palace, that if the great liar will not tell them that it is a traditional community just because he has decided to choose love over tradition, that they have come out to tell them that yes, that is a traditional community and what they were trying to do is not allowed there. That was when they unanimously started speaking that this happens to be the same thing that shattered the entire marriage when the Jewel was in the palace. That it is disheartening that up until now, the Jewel has not realized that this whole drama about her marriage was shattered because of this whole behavior. That she cannot put her religion, impose her religion on other people. And, people from the Jewel's angle, not the Jewel didn't come out to respond to anybody. But the family was saying nobody is imposing any religion on you. Nobody has said that you must do what we are doing, okay? They said another woman stepped out, beating her chest with frustration and annoyance. Was this not the same thing that happened the first time that the Jewel came? Midnight prayer, everything scattered. Why didn't the prayer save the Jewel? Why didn't the prayer save her marriage? And now she has come back with the same thing. You want to continue to do the same thing even when you know it's affecting other people? As in, they said the aunt was standing out there, dumbfounded and not knowing what to say. They said a younger, woman from the palace who had, what was going on. One of the women came and said they prayed inside, they did not pray outside. And these women shouted, they screamed at this woman to shut up her mouth, that nobody invited her. When elders are talking, she should keep quiet, that they are talking to the Jewel. They asked that the Jewel they should go and get the Jewel. Nobody even answered them. They said anytime this jewel comes back, prayer start. And anytime prayer start, there will be wahala. Things will begin to change. Things will begin to shift. Some people will no longer have access to certain things. Some of us cannot even walk at night anymore. It blocks us. Why are you doing this kind of heavy prayer in the palace again? Do you want to scatter things the second time? How come you are not learning? They say, in fact, people from the jewel side, they were dumbfounded. They never even imagined that people will come out openly to begin to do these things. They have heard that one of the reasons why they have been fighting the jewel so badly is because of this her prayer thing, prayer this, prayer that. But nobody could have imagined that a time will come in the palace where women will come out and say, look, you cannot pray inside the palace again. They said the jewel family stood there. They were shocked, looking at them like people who don't understand the language. One of her uncles tried to speak calmly. We didn't disturb anyone. We were inside the villa. We did not even raise our voices. We were just praying for peace, thanking God and sleeping after. How does simple prayer disturb you people like this? But the women did not want to hear anything. It's not about noise. One yell and snap her fingers aggressively. It is not about noise. It is a spiritual influence. Some things cannot move when people are praying. Midnight prayer ties the air. It makes the air feel tight. We know what we are saying. Another added, this is a traditional environment. Many things happen here that are older than all of you. You cannot just be praying anyhow at night. It blocks our movement. We are not Christians here. We know our root. We do things differently here. They said a jewel's mother, who had been very calm since that whole drama, finally stepped forward. Her voice was soft but firm. So you people are saying prayer is the problem because we prayed to God inside the house. That is why you are angry this morning. Yes, one woman shouted immediately because prayer is what scattered things before. Even the great lion knows it. The day prayer started, everything changed. People were fighting. Things began to spoil. You people came with Christianity and changed the whole palace atmosphere. Now that we have tried to organize ourselves again, you are coming back with the same prayer. We are not going to allow it. If you want to pray, go to Akure and pray because that's where you're coming from. Are you saying the entire Akure is not enough for you to pray? Must you come here to pray? We do not want that prayer, and that is what we are saying. That is what we are saying. They said everybody was shocked. Everybody was shocked. Even, fellow people living inside the palace, they were just shocked. As in, they didn't even know what to make out of this kind of talk, that they do not want prayer, that the reason why things have scattered in the palace is because of these people's prayers. Like, they could not even believe what they themselves were hearing. As in, everybody was shocked because this time, it's 2 days to offering day. They just could not hide it again. They had to come out plain. Going to bring you more update. Do not forget that these are all alleged rumors, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.